Hi second grade, welcome back. Last time what we did was we finished up our warm and cool color paintings. We're going to use this painted paper to create still lives of flowers. So these don't look like flowers just yet, but hopefully by the end of today you should have your own warm and cool color still life flowers. The thing that you need to decide is which one you want to be your background. So your background is what's behind the flowers. If you want a cool color background, you need to choose your cool color painting. If you want a warm background, choose your warm colors. So make your choice now. Alright, so I decided that I want to use my cool colors as my background for my flowers, which means for right now, I don't need my warm piece of paper. So whichever one you chose is the one that should be in front of you. It could be the warm or the cool. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 2 color sheets of paper. Now, these colors need to match your background, so since I used a cool color background, I'm going to use purple and green because those are also cool colors. So one of these pieces of paper is going to be your table, and the other one is going to be your vase. So, make your choice of which one you want to be the table. That's the one that we'll need right now. I'm going to choose the purple one, which means I don't need the green right now. I'm going to put it to the side. So now that I have the glue on my paper, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to find the side that is closest to me, and then I'm going to gently line up those corners with my paper and glue it down. So it should look something like this. I have my paper at the bottom. My vase is going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to put this to the side because right now it's time for me to focus on the vase. I want you to take your other piece of paper and we need to fold it right down the middle. So I'm going to get these corners to match up just like this and then give it a nice fold because we're going to be using symmetry to be creating our vase. So there's so many different ways that you could draw your vase. You're going to draw your vase on one side, but you're only going to draw half of it. Let me show you what I mean. So now that I have my paper, I'm going to draw my vase the way I want it. So I'm thinking I'm going to do maybe a smaller vase. I'm going to draw the top of the vase first. And then maybe it'll have a curve on the inside, so we'll curve in and then come right back out. And then there's also a bottom of the vase. So here's what I have drawn. It's only half of the vase. You can imagine the other side right here, but I only need half because when I cut this paper, I'll have the other side done for me. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut very carefully through both sheets of the paper all the way out. Alright, and I'm finishing my cuts like this. So you should have something that looks a little bit like this, and when you open it up, it is the same on both sides, which means that it's symmetrical. I'm going to take the side, I'm going to turn it over so that I can't see that Sharpie anymore, and then I need to glue it down right here so that it looks like it is sitting on the table, which means I shouldn't glue it up here like it's floating. I shouldn't glue it all the way down here. Do it right in the middle so it looks like that vase is sitting on top of your table. I'm going to take 4 dots of glue. Don't forget to hold it for at least 10 seconds to make sure that it is down and flat. It should look something like this, but right now it's an empty vase and we should fill it up with some flowers. Take this and I'm going to move it to the side. I don't need it right now. What you need is your other color piece of paper. Now for me this is the warm, but yours might be the cool, so don't worry if yours is not the same as mine. I'm going to take this Sharpie again and I'm going to draw some different flowers. Now your flowers do not have to look real. I usually start out with a circle and then I draw shapes around the circle to make it kind of look like it has petals or leaves. So here's what I have. I have about 5 different things that I've drawn. I drew some flowers with swirly different kinds of lines. Some of them look a little bit more geometric. Some of them have leaves and petals, and then some of them are not even connected. I also even drew some leaves down here. I'm going to cut these out and then I'm attach them to my still life so that they look like flowers. Don't forget to cut carefully and slowly. Now you don't have to cut all of these different shapes out. You may decide that you want to cut around them like I'm doing, and that's totally fine too. Now I have my different flowers cut out. They look very different from each other, and you're starting to see the ombre, the transition of the different warm and cool colors in my flowers, which is really, really cool. So it's time to add them to my piece so that it looks like a full vase. Without gluing, is I'm just going to assemble my flowers where I want them to go. It's important that you do this before you glue so that you can kind of move them around. Maybe I decide that I want this one here instead of the other. So please make sure that you have it the way you want it before you start to glue. I'm even going to put some leaves down at the bottom because I want it to look like maybe the leaves were falling off the flower bouquet. So now I have everything the way I want it. I'm going to take my glue, give it a little bit of a shake, and I'm going to give each flower about 2 dots of glue, and that should be enough to keep it down flat on the paper. I'm going to glue everything down, and then we're going to move on to the next and final step. I have everything glued down the way I want it. What I need to do now is take my Sharpie and write my name at the bottom left-hand corner of the paper. Add a few more designs. Maybe you decide that your vase needs some patterns too. Remember all of our lines, including the zigzag, we can do wavy, but maybe you want to make your own line. A lot of people want to use their own shapes to make their patterns. It is totally up to you what you want to do to make your vase in your flower arrangement still life interesting. Alrighty guys, I think I'm all done. I'm so excited to see what yours will look like.